Come in.
Good evening and welcome to the regular meeting of April 28, 2015 of Port Clinton City Council. Please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance, the Lord's Prayer, and a moment of silence for our men and women serving overseas. I pledge allegiance to the flag
of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
our Father,
Our Art in heaven, hallowed be thy name. Thy kingdom come, thy will be done, on earth as it is in heaven. Give us this day our daily bread, and forgive us our trespasses, as we forgive those who trespass against us. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil. For thine is the kingdom, and power, and the glory, forever. Amen.
thank you. Clerk, please call the roll.
Mike Snyder.
Present.
Gabe Velo.
Present.
Lisa Sardi. Present. Beth Gilman.
Present.
Jerry Toroli.
Present.
Dakota Freitas. Present. Margaret Phillips.
Yes, present. Thank you. Council, before you have the minutes of the March 10th regular meeting. Could I have a motion to accept the minutes as written?
Madam Chair. No, I want amendment.
Okay. Did you have a change?
I did.
Okay.
On the back page under my comments, at the previous planning and development meeting, not the next planning and development, is where we discussed future tenants.
Now could I have a motion to accept the minutes as changed by Mr. Velo? I'll make that motion. Thank you, Ms. Phillips. Could I have a second? Thank you, Mr. Velo. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. The chair notes that certification has been received regarding compliance with the rules and notification of this meeting. And other than spring, we have now entered my favorite time of the year, procrastination. Procrastination season by the high school kids and getting their forms signed. And believe me, you're early in the procrastination season because it'll get a lot fuller as the weeks go on. Tonight we have a guest presentation by the Main Street Board, and I will turn over to Laura Shaw.
Actually, I'm going to turn over to Amy Slater West.
Okay?
Okay. Good evening, everyone. I'd like to thank you for allowing us to come in this evening. We would like to, representing Main Street Port Clinton, we would like to talk about our board of directors and introduce our officers. I'm sorry, I'm not feeling very well, so if you can't hear me, I'm having a hard time talking. But we'll start with the board of directors. The officers are myself, Amy Slater West from Slater's Madison Street Pub, president this year. Past president, Roseanne Hickman from Perfect Color Hair and Tan. Vice president, Jim Recker, Mr. Pierre, all the way in the back. From Gerner Wolf Walker Funeral Home. Treasurer is Larry Hartlaub, Ottawa County Auditor. Yep. Secretary Jasmine Cup from the Beacon. Then also the board of directors are Dana Basak Lind. I saw Dana somewhere over here. And she is from the Civilian Marksmanship Program. Don Clemens from America's Best Value. Gary Macko, First National Bank. Casey Madison from Port Clinton Business and Professional Women.
She could be here
She
tonight.
couldn't be here tonight. Thank you, Roseanne. And Lori Madison from the Frederick Agency. Our board of directors ex officio, Mayor Vince Leone, City of Port Clinton, Councilman Beth Gilman, City of Port Clinton as well, and Dwayne Myers from the Lake and Erie Shores and Islands. Main Street Port Clinton is a non-profit 501c3 organization. We strive to revitalize our historic downtown. We have over 400 supporters with not only public but also private partnership within the city. Our program is volunteer driven with over 5,900 volunteer hours in 2014, which is pretty amazing. We have a pretty good staff of volunteers. In 2008, we joined forces with the Chamber, the Port Clinton Area Chamber of Commerce. We share staff and office space, which helps us to be more efficient in sharing those areas. Our mission, Main Street Port Clinton is striving to promote, preserve, and improve downtown Port Clinton as a vibrant center for businesses, entertainment, and cultural activities for residents of the community and visitors to the area. Our vision, accessible by water or land, downtown Port Clinton, a popular destination on Lake Erie, is a thriving community, welcoming residents and visitors alike to enjoy the unique shops, excellent restaurants, year-round entertainment, and cultural activities located within the beautifully restored historic downtown.
Thank you.
One thing, the next slide is strategic planning. And this is something that we do every single year to review our goals. This is a very important process, but the vision and the mission both are reviewed each and every year to make sure that we're keeping up with what we're supposed to be doing, what we're charged with. What this helps do also, as I just mentioned, it helps us keep in our goals by following our action plans. Each one of our committees comes up with their own goals, how to accomplish them, who's in charge of it, and a timeline for which it should be accomplished. We use a 4-point approach, and that also equals our committees. So we have 4 committees, which are Design Committee, Economic Restructuring Committee, Promotion Committee, and Organization or Executive Committee, plus 2 more committees, which are the Walleye Festival and the upcoming Fall Festival. Most Main Street programs function on with the 4 approach, but since our Walleye Festival is so huge, we really need a separate committee for it because it does take up so much time. And then I'm going to turn this over to Roseanne, and she is going to talk about the Promotion Committee and what they have going on this year.
Thank you, Amy.
You're welcome.
I am the co-chair of the Promotion Committee along with Casey Madison. The Promotion Committee, our goal is to sell a positive community image, encourage people to live, work, and play in our downtown. We do coordinate several events to drive traffic to our restaurants and our retail areas, and some of those are the Downtown Trick or Treat, the Zombie Pub Crawl, and our Community Christmas. We also coordinate and design our downtown brochure and our coupon page. Have most of you seen this around town? We printed 15,000 of these, and they have been distributed everywhere. Most of our downtown businesses do advertise in the coupon page. The downtown brochure has the map for everybody, so when our visitors come into town, it's easily accessible for them to open up and find our restaurants and our retail spaces downtown. We do have a website, historicportclinton.com. I encourage all of you to visit the website. We're constantly updating that and keeping our information up to date also. Some of the ways that we do promote our area, we do have our brochure and coupon pages in the Turnpike and the ODOT plazas. That's fairly new that we've started doing that, and that's a pretty big deal to get that out there. So when travelers do stop, they can see those and come into downtown. We have sent representatives to attend travel shows, the AAA Great Vacations Expo, the Great Lakes Home and Flower Show, the Charter Captains Conference, and the national matches, the county fair, and the biggest week in American birding. And by attending these, we take all of our information, and visitors are able to pick up our coupon page, our map, any information about downtown Port Clinton, the events that are going on. So we're able to reach masses. We're able to reach other people who may not have come into Port Clinton. And by picking those up, hopefully that encourages them to come into town and visit us. Our downtown trick or treat. I think last year was our second year that we had the downtown trick or treat. Third year. It was very close to 300 children in downtown. And I think just about every business in downtown Port Clinton participated. It was 1 to 3 last year. We encouraged businesses to get candy, open up their doors. We encouraged all of our visitors and residents in the area to bring all their children downtown and trick or treat. And I think it's been a wonderful way for not only our businesses to be promoted, but to again bring people in and get some foot traffic downtown. Zombie pub crawl, again, third year for that. I think we had close to 200 participants last year, and just about every restaurant downtown did participate in this. It is a great event. The nice thing about this is other people that I know that have personally traveled to other communities to celebrate Halloween are now sticking right here in our downtown and spending their money here. Not only do they come and visit these restaurants and establishments, but they also book hotel rooms. So that's really encouraging. And we also had visitors coming in from out of town. So it's a great time if you haven't had an opportunity. Who doesn't want to dress up and be a zombie, really? How fun is that? So if you haven't had an opportunity to check it out, maybe this year you can join us. So, and it's on Halloween this year. That's really great. Community Christmas. That's my favorite. It was really, really cold this year, but it was a lot of fun. We had about, I think it was about between 22 and 25 parade entries this year, which was the highest number we've had yet for our Community Christmas. We did a lighted parade this year, which was a lot of fun. And you can see the Grinch showed up. That was fabulous. And it's nice to see that he gets along with Santa and Mrs. Claus. We did have the city tree lighting that night. The Gift of Lights was downtown in Adams Street Park. I think it was very well attended this year. People really enjoyed the lighted parade aspect. In the afternoon, when we've had the parade, you know, people have come out, mingled, shopped around, but this year we really had an opportunity to promote everything being open in the evening. Santa was at the Clinton House this year, and I think there was a steady line most of the night. And I think if anybody could call the North Pole, they might find that out from Santa. Maybe. It's a great event, a great opportunity for people to bring their children out. It was nice to have the Touch of Class there singing. And again, this event will continue every year just to continue to promote downtown. All right. I'm going to turn this over to Larry.
Thank you, Roseanne. Good evening, everyone. I'm Larry Hartlob. I'm the chair of the Economic Restructuring Committee and also the treasurer of Main Street. The Economic Restructuring Committee is charged with strengthening existing economic assets and expanding and diversifying our economic base. Basically, we're trying to bring businesses in, make businesses that are here stronger, make them help find ways to redevelop some of the buildings downtown, and we've done a few things interesting over the past few years that I'll tell you about. Revitalization District was something we worked very closely with the city with. We helped to arrange maps, get the paperwork filed in order to get what this did actually brought in 15 new liquor licenses downtown that were geographically specific, so they could not be removed from the designated area, and that includes Lakeshore Drive and the downtown core. We have not implemented this one yet, but it's something we have done some of the research on, passed on to the Planning and Development Committee, Community Reinvestment Area, which is a tax incentive program that uses property tax as an incentive. So basically, as people develop their building or they redevelop their building, the appreciated value, instead of being taxed on it, it is abated. So it doesn't discourage people from putting money into the building. And finally, the Downtown Improvement Grant. This is something that's ongoing. This is one of our key things we've been doing in our committee over the last few years. We've been really improving it, and we are just about ready to award our third round this year for $15,000. It's for downtown businesses and building owners. It's to improve their property. It can be anything from, I'm trying to think, we've done painting of buildings, some lighting stuff, repair facades, bathroom enhancements, some exterior improvements to buildings, all kinds of different projects. We've already written checks for almost $30,000. We're going to award another $15,000 this year. So that's money we've actually given out. And we try to do that on a 50-50 match basis, give or take. It's not hard-coded, but so basically when we put $30,000 in, we're hoping another $30,000 gets invested downtown as well. And we get this money, it's all raised from the Walleye Festival. So it's really important to get those advanced ride ticket sales out there. If you'd like to sponsor, I think you should call the chamber, talk to Tara. Very important. It's good money for, it's us taking the money we raise to really put it into our vision. And that's what we're really after here. So I think this is one of our great flagship programs we're doing. There's some pictures of our past recipients. So you see it's a big group, and we try to rotate around as much as we can so everybody gets a taste. And this is something we've done a couple years ago. It's a PC business booklet. It's how to start a business. Starting and growing a business in Port Clinton. This is kind of a guide with steps from business planning to bank, if you need to get some financing, if you need to find some real estate, all kinds of things, all kinds of resources in there, phone numbers, contacts, names, numbers, everything, down to city officials, down to county officials, everything you need is right in there. It's really simple. It's only like 6 pages, so it's not terribly difficult to get through. So we're hoping it's just one of those things we can help make the process a little easier. And we do try to update it periodically. I think that's it. Yeah, who's up? Jasmine, I think? Jasmine and Lori?
I'm passing the floor.
All right.
All right, I'm Lori Madison, and I am the chairperson for the design committee. I brought little things for you to look up, pass that around. Getting the downtown in top physical shape, and as everybody's aware of, we've got a lot of construction going on downtown right now. And so one of the things that we're trying to do is make the businesses downtown excited about what's going on. So we've gone, all 12 businesses on Second Street, and passed out this door hanger, and it has little suction cups if you'd like to put on the door. It comes with little dry erase pens so you can write stuff on there. Like in this folder that I passed out too are the articles from the Beacon and the Sandusky Register, the News Herald did one too, about the resale shop and how when they saw the construction was coming to their area, they had a customer appreciation day and handed out hot dogs not only to the people that came and bought things at their shop, but also to the construction workers. So they took an event where you couldn't get to their door front or park where you normally park and made it something super fun, and they brought in more business. So we passed that around to just to suggest to other businesses that are going to be affected by this to do a very similar thing and make this be a really positive experience, because it is a good thing for Port Clinton. Create and implement downtown plan and support for public improvements. Plant and maintain live flower pots and planters. You've seen those around. Those look absolutely fantastic. Over $160,000 have been used in downtown for benches, planters. You've seen all those. The benches, we just got some more benches coming. We've got the planters out there. We also just got some picnic tables. So we got a lot of stuff going on that's really helping to beautify our downtown area. We also have reinstituted a contest for window decorating at Christmas time to get the downtown businesses all to decorate their windows for Christmas. We've got fabulous prizes that they can win. We're also working with the Architectural Review Board to help them with color palettes or maybe signage or anything that might come up because of all the construction that we've got going on and the revitalization of the downtown area to keep everything looking good. And then along with that, we've got the light posts that are going in. So the light posts are going to turn out to be a great fundraiser for us. We're hoping we're going to sell off those light posts and have them pay for themselves. Anybody can sponsor light posts, any business, any one person, and get your name put on that light post and have that on there for as long as the light post lasts, which would be a great advertisement. So for your business or to dedicate it to somebody. And that's what our design committee is doing.
My name is Dana Basak-Lynn. I am the chairman for the Walleye Fest committee. Hopefully all of you know what the Walleye Fest is and spent downtown. This is our 35th anniversary. It's Main Street's largest fundraiser. So going back to what Larry said, we're raising the money and he's giving it out to everybody. So our committee is less than 10 people, so we get a lot done with a small committee that we do have. Estimated between 5,000 and 12,000 people attend the Walleye Fest each day. And if you attended last year, we had perfect weather and the aisles were full of people nonstop. So we hope for great weather again this year. Estimated total economic impact for the Walleye Fest on the city of Port Clinton is over $1 million. We can thank Ms. DeFritas for that number and all of her hard work that went into researching that number. Advanced ride tickets are on sale, so get down to the chamber office or the Popcorn Factory, and I think Mary's has them. No Mary's, so just come down to the chamber. You can ride from Thursday all the way to Monday afternoon. They're only $40, so it's a great deal. You have a chance to win iPod. The Civilian Marksmanship Program Grand Parade. This is a great event. We get a lot of community support on this. We stage at Port Clinton High School. We start this at 1 o'clock on Saturday. Downtown is full of people. Children wanting candy. So it's a great event.
So Saturday's the
Or
23rd.
Oh, it is. Thank you.
Now I know. Because it's
Great.
on the 24th. And for a moment I panicked.
Yep. Skipper Bud's Fishing Derby. We have last year we had over 250 children attend that. They come out. It's a little bit of a contest. We give trophies away. We have door prizes. A bunch of good stuff to give away. All the local business, I shouldn't say all, most of the local businesses donate something. We've had about 5,400 people go through that. So, and then the Marine Max Kids Activity Area is a free event. We actually moved this right after the Fishing Derby, hoping to get more kids down. We have some crafts, cookie decorating, a whole bunch of cool activities for them to do while we're tallying up for the ceremony for the Fishing Derby. So we hope to see everybody there.
Hi, Laura Slacker, Program Manager for Main Street. I'm just going to talk a minute to give you an update on the CDBG grant. As you're all aware, the city received the Community Development Block Grant for downtown. We received $300,000 in funding. $100,000 of that is for private investment in downtown. In order for us to receive that grant application, we applied a year ago, and we had 11 property owners who signed up to participate in the program. So we needed that private participation in order to receive these grant funds. We currently have a waiting list. We have, so those 11 receive priority for the funding. It's a matching grant, can get up to $10,000, again matching 50-50, and then there is funding through the revolving loan program, through the county at a 2% interest rate that they can use as a matching program. The funding can be used for any code violations for their buildings. Some of the projects that we have in the works with those applications include some big projects that you're going to actually have some big impact projects. You're going to see these from the road. Some tuck pointing of buildings, like the brickwork, the front facade at our office at 110 Madison, the metal canopies coming down, the siding is coming off, the brick's going to be re-exposed. We have some roof projects, some HVAC, some signs, so a really good array of projects. We actually have a waiting list. I have 20 applications in the office right now, 2 more that I'm waiting for, that just if money is available after those first 11 have priority, we'll be able to open it up to more projects. Working with Hogemeyer on this as our consultant, and as Lauren says, she's never seen this before. Usually communities are waiting to the last minute to be able to utilize all the funding. We have until August of 2016, and our funding is probably going to be gone way in advance of that. So we're really excited. I think it just goes to show the partnership between the city, the county, Main Street, the private building owners, the business owners, everyone working together. And I don't know if, did you announce this, Mayor, about the presentation? No? Can I announce it? Okay, so we have an opportunity to present at the American Planning Association's Ohio Planning Conference in Toledo to be one of the presenters to talk about this public-private partnership. It's really an amazing work that's been done in the past year, just showing the community all together, working so closely. So if we can go and present at this conference, I mean, that's just wow. I think we all need to be there to go and hear about this, and just we all need to just raise our hands and be excited. We're also up potentially for an award and presenting at another conference with Heritage Ohio. We'll know all of this late summer. So those are all taking place in the fall. But fingers crossed, just to be nominated and to be considered, I think is a true honor. So again, thank you. And if you guys have any questions about the CDBG, call me. But it's moving forward. Everything has to go before Board of Architectural Review. So we're trying to coordinate all the applications, and we're kind of administering all of that out of our office. So. And I talked fast, and I'll stop. I wasn't supposed to talk. Except for about this. So, Larry.
One last thing. Larry Harlow again. We've been approached by the mayor to take over the Harvest Festival this year. And after some debate, I think we decided to go ahead and do that. I apparently was informed at our last meeting that I've been voted in without my knowledge as chair of this committee. It's all right.
Congratulations.
All right. We have not settled on a final name, but we're thinking about the Fall Festival. September 25th, 26th, 27th, same time as it always has been. It's going to be right downtown Portland, same place it's always been. Madison Street between Perry and 2nd. And we're going to try to add some things like farmer's market theme, add a little bit more of the fall thing to it, more than just beer in a tent, kind of an entertainment thing. Maybe add a little bit of some extra things. We think we've got some unique skill sets that we've learned from the Walleye Festival. We're hoping to apply that to this as well. And, so again, we're going to need some sponsorship, so feel free to, well, wait, I'm not supposed to talk about that yet?
Nope,
Not until after Walleye Festival. So if you think about it in June or July, then we'll start filming in. But we're really excited. There's going to be more to come, so we're just getting this up to speed. So thanks for the opportunity.
Well, I guess that concludes our presentation. If you have any questions, feel free to contact myself or any of our board members. And again, we're so proud to be working so closely with you. Thank you.
Do we have any questions for anybody from Main Street? Mr. Young?
Jerry Yankee, 117 Cedar Street. I would like to know from Main Street why there was so much opposition to preserving or saving Waterworks Park back when we were trying to get issue 6 passed. There was a lot of signs downtown out of the business community that was against our saving, preserving, whatever you want to call it, Waterworks Park.
You want to know what Main Street's position was? Is that what you're?
Why there was so much opposition out of Main Street and out of the chamber?
I guess I'm not understanding your question. Main Street Port Clinton is for the positive redevelopment and revitalization of downtown within our boundaries of our historic downtown.
Okay,
and anything that is going to make a positive impact on Port Clinton is what we're.
There was a lot of vote no signs down in the business community.
Right, and our official stance is our mission, obviously. Main Street Port Clinton is striving to promote, preserve, and improve downtown Port Clinton as a vibrant center for businesses, entertainment, and cultural activities for residents of the community and visitors to the area. I think it is also our vision. Accessible by water or land, downtown Port Clinton is a popular destination on Lake Erie, is a thriving community welcoming residents and visitors alike to enjoy the unique shops, excellent restaurants, year-round entertainment, and cultural activities located within the beautifully restored historic downtown. As far as Main Street goes, it is within our mission and our vision to maintain what we believe for downtown to be correct. Now, we did not take a specific stance on issue 6.
Main Street Port Clinton is a non-political organization.
I get you, but there were still signs in the businesses downtown.
It's up to the businesses.
Yeah, no, that was
That's the
up to the
business's
business
decision to
owner's
post the sign in
discretion.
their window.
That
wouldn't
That
be
has
our
nothing to
Jim
do with
Recker,
Main Street.
218 Washington Street. There were just as many members of Main Street and the Chamber of Commerce that wanted development at Waterworks Park as there were that didn't want development at Waterworks Park. And that you can see that by the way the vote came out so close. So just the same position that you have, I could pose the same question, why didn't Main Street support the development more? So
Right. Why didn't they? I'm
They took
sorry.
a
I'm
neutral
sorry.
stance.
I'm sorry. I misunderstood. Okay.
There was a neutral stance by Main Street Portland.
Thank you, Jim.
It was kind of disheartening to see those signs in the windows, though.
But other
Down
people
at the
like the
fish-
signs.
That's individual businesses.
Main Street has no control of businesses.
Are there any other questions for Main Street?
Number 608. If Waterworks Park is developed according to the architect's renderings from Washington Properties, what are your plans to hold the Walleye Festival?
I'll comment on that. We started planning back in, when was the property rezoned? 2007.
Seven.
The committee has been working on that since 2007. Plans are in place to relocate the festival downtown. Part of the revitalization of downtown on Madison and Second includes opportunity for electrical, is it conduit or wire or hookups, so we can get the vendors downtown, and there will be ample space. Will it look the same that it's looked for the last 35 years? Absolutely not. You know, the vendor who's been right here, who wants that same spot, is not going to be in the same spot, but we'll be able to make it work. Other communities have festivals right along their downtowns. It'll be great for our businesses, so we're looking forward to an opportunity to move it if that opportunity arises.
Also, anybody is able to go to the chamber office, and I think there's a great opportunity. There's pictures on the wall that shows an aerial view of the Walleye Festival in full operation. And basically from that picture, it's very easy to see that it all needs to be just turned a little bit compared to what you're talking about, the potential development, the architectural renderings. It wouldn't affect it at all. Actually, there'd still be more room, in my opinion. I think Main Street still has an opportunity to grow it even larger, even if that development were to go through.
Anyone else?
Yeah, you do a lot with the history, preserving the history, because that's really good for business and PR and everything else. That's proven. But what are the boundaries of the downtown for your jurisdiction, so to speak, or the area that you?
So the boundaries of Main Street, we probably should have talked about that. I didn't think about that for the presentation, but we'll update that for the next time. To the south is the railroad tracks. On the east side, it is Adams Street from the railroad tracks north, cutting through Waterworks Park. On the west, it's Laurel Street with a straight line across the Portage River up to the lake across Lake Drive.
Okay. The Krogan Bank that they put in there, that was a very historical site, the first lighthouse in Port Clinton. And there seems to be no idea by them to maintain any historical significance there. Did Main Street try to intervene in that at all and get them to honor the historical value of the property that they built on?
Main Street is here to provide resources and to provide education of, that type of thing, but we don't have any enforcement power. That would be.
Well, I'm sorry, Laura, I'm not talking about enforcement, I'm talking about influence, that's all.
Yes, we did contact Krogan. We provided a letter saying we're here for support and anything that we could do as their project moved forward.
Okay, but nothing to do with the historical value that property had.
I can't recall what the letter was. It was a few years ago, I think. But I don't remember if it had history in it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you. Can I just shut it off? Turn off, or do I need to log it off? Just turn it off? Okay. I didn't mess it up, that was so cool.
Let's go to town. That's fine. Hit it one more time. I hit it twice. One turn it off, and one confirm it. There you go.
Thank you.
We'll now go to public comment.
Appreciate it.
Gary Philibon, 121 Walnut Street.
Yeah, my question is on ordinance that they passed on, I've been asked this by a number of people, on the yard sale. And they asked me the question that, well, we're allowed 3 yard sales a year. Okay? Then they asked me the question, you gotta get a permit, which is fine. But then their question was, now, if they get the permit, now if you get your permit on Monday, can you have your yard sale on, say, that Thursday, Friday, and Saturday? Or do you gotta wait a week? And if you have to wait a week, what happens if it rains on that weekend? Do you get that day back, or that weekend back? I said, I don't know. I said, well, I might ask you at council tonight.
If they picked up a permit in
Right.
the water office, it says on there when they can do it, when they can hold it, how long it's good for, and how many times they can use, which is the ones. It's written on the papers that they get at the office. As long as they got them at the office.
Right.
It
Now,
says in there,
I haven't seen one of them papers yet, but,
they're in the office.
and, well, I will get one tomorrow and check it out. But my question is, if you gotta get it a week in advance, now, if you gotta get it, say, this week, to have it next week, what happens if it rains a week you're gonna have the thing? That's too far advanced, because of the way the weather changes. I can see, you have to have it in, say, by Tuesday of that week. You'd have to have it turned in by Tuesday of that week, to have it, say, on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday of that week, because you know what the weather was gonna be. You can't predict the weather a week in advance. And then if so, if it's that way, then what happens if it rains that weekend and you can't have the yard sale? So then what are they gonna do?
Seems to me it would be very logical that if it rains on that weekend, then the yard sale is not held, it doesn't count as one of their 3.
Oh, that's what they wanted to know. That's the question they had, because they asked me about it. I said, well, I don't know, I haven't stopped down here and got one. So I said, I don't know. I said, but I would find out tonight for them.
If it rains out, have them come see me and we'll make the adjustment. Fair enough?
Yeah, yeah, because different ones asked me, because if it
That's
rains,
fine.
we can
Come see
advance
me if they
it.
get rained out, we'll make the adjustment.
Right, because you can't predict the weather.
Roger Smith, 218 West 4th Street.
Yes, I have a question for our safety director. We're getting more and more lighting downtown, and these rope lights, string lights, or whatever you want to call them. Is there an ordinance that governs that? In other words, the outside dining, they've got red, white, and green, or whatever, and then the Island House has got all white out there and theirs, and then across the street, Clinton House, now they've got all blue. Is there any kind of ordinance?
I've never seen anything. You're talking on the cafe permits?
Yes, because I've read it and I've checked other ordinances, and there was nothing about
I see
outside
nothing
lighting.
at all in that.
Yeah. Do you think it would be a good idea to get an ordinance, since we're getting all these businesses coming up with different schemes on their outside?
We'll talk about it with the design committee.
Yeah.
I think that's not bad.
And when I did walk up there and take a look at things, the outside wiring is terrible. Extension cords, the Island House has inside extension cords.
Going to their lights?
They're all together in big clusters, so, that has to be all commercial wiring if they're going to do that. Okay, thank you.
Yeah, if I could, we do have an architectural review board that deals with a lot of that stuff outside in the downtown area. And that is one of the things that we're trying to really get a grasp on and see what should be allowed. We're going as far as only giving 3 different selections of chairs. the fencing, all that good stuff. So those are things that are under review right now so that we can actually develop a guideline to give to any business owners downtown as they're trying to do that.
Right.
And I will tell you, it was very difficult. It's my appointment as mayor to put that board together, and the problem we had was trying to find an architect to fill one of those positions, which is per the ordinance, that had to live in Ottawa County. And because of that delay, it took quite some time. We just actually got our full board together, I want to say 4 months ago. And I'll be honest with you, I'm very, very proud of the group that I have together. They work extremely hard, especially with all these grants the CDG heard about. Main Street has also put a clause in receiving grant funds from them, but they would first have to go through an architectural review board. So we are really trying to grab a lot of information and make those guidelines as fast as we can.
Yeah,
those are points that have been brought up
Yes.
at that board, just to let you know.
Okay, yeah, because, you don't want to turn the downtown area into almost a Vegas look. You don't want to have, next thing you know, it's going to be,
Agreed.
Agreed. Okay, thank you, Mayor.
Who's the architect, Mayor?
Excuse me, you're not on the agenda.
Excuse you?
Yes.
Larry Holman, 419 West 6th Street.
Larry Holman, I would like to speak as far as the tree commission. We sure appreciated the council's attendance and the administration's attendance of last week's Arbor Day Festival. Thank you very much. Second of all, Mr. Trolling and myself will be heading to Toledo to receive the 26th Tree City USA Award tomorrow, so please don't call us, leave us alone. Thank you, Larry.
Anyone else?
Rick Noter, 608 East Perry Street.
Last January, I made council and the mayor aware of some delinquent property taxes in Medina County, and those taxes were due there were 4 corporations, and those corporations either are headed by Mike Rose of Washington Properties, or he's part of the corporation. And the delinquent tax amount was $437,626. Have any council members kept up with that and see how he's doing and keeping up with defraying that, getting that number down?
I looked at some of them, and he's continuing to pay off a lot of this stuff. It's a huge amount of money, but again, when all these things happen, the debts, plus what he has approved now. Also, we do not know who else is in business with him for all of these activities. So we don't know if the debt accrued is courtesy of him alone, he and other people only. So we're not going to dwell in, I'm not going to delve into this until I find out a little bit more.
Well, those corporations, all that information about, who's the principal and whatnot, are available at the Secretary of State's website
And
very
you
easily.
get partial answers on that. I do not believe you get a list of everybody who's involved. You give the primary people, the head of the board, unless I'm mistaken on this, but that's what I'm coming up with. Not everybody.
Well, I looked into it and on the amounts, and the first 4 months of the year, those corporations have paid a little over $20,000. And right now, the amount is down to $416,832. Now, the current rate they're paying, that total amount, the $437,626, will be paid off in 7 years. That's 7 years of effectively the county citizens in Medina County giving this person an interest-free loan, $430,000 over that period for 7 years, because there is no interest charge and there are no penalties charged by Medina County once he's on a payment plan like that. So 7 years, interest-free loan of $437,000. That's what we're looking at.
But if he didn't pay that money in 7 years, Medina County would be without that money totally. So I think he's paying, and that's what matters.
Well, with all due respect, they would have it because they would foreclose on the property and they would sell it and they would take the tax money. That, I would say, is what's keeping Mr. Rose paying the property tax. Isn't that what keeps all of us paying our property taxes? If we don't do it, then they foreclose on the property and then the county gets their money back. And that's certainly the way it would be in Medina County. Mr. Rose would lose his property if he didn't. I don't think his main impetus, just like us, or when we pay our taxes, being a nice person, it's stepping up to our responsibilities to the taxpayers, to pay our taxes.
We have people in Port Clinton who owe on their taxes. Should all of those homes be foreclosed based on what you just said?
There are guidelines that the treasurer goes by, the county treasurer. And I'm not familiar with those, but they have. My understanding is they have in the past foreclosed on properties for tax purposes. But as far as how long it has to be and all that, what kind of notices have to be, I have no idea. But I know the treasurer does, for sure. And I'm just about out of time, so I'll save the rest of it for next meeting. Thank you.
Anyone else? No, and I'll go to the mayor's report.
Thank you, Madam President. Got a few things I wanted to make sure council was aware of. Every year we are fortunate enough through the FOPA to be part of the Special Olympics. And I just want you guys to put this on your calendar. This year it'll be on Father's Day, June 21st. And I got to tell you, it's an absolute wonderful event where it's not just the city or FOPA, but it's you talk about the Coast Guard, you talk about the Sheriff's Department. There's a lot of different people that get involved in this to help support these athletes. So I ask you to put that on your calendar. Keep that in mind. We typically board all the boats. Coast Guard helps Sheriff's Department, Police Department go to the islands. They do their run. Parade over there, and we bring them back here, and they do it once again, and we have a nice party. I don't have the date, I'll give to you, or the time, I'll give it to you as the time goes on. I just want to put it on your calendar, please. They need your support. But we're fortunate enough, too, that the Knights of Columbus, they go ahead and they donate the hall so that we can have a nice party for them at the end, where they have their award ceremony. But I promise you, I'll give you the time. Typically it starts at noon, and I think we're back around 4 or 5 o'clock, somewhere in there. So we ask not just council, but if you let everyone know, please come support. During the conversation, we had a presentation from Main Street, and they talked about the Fall Festival and the Harvest Festival, and I wanted to bring council up to speed on this without getting into too much of the gory details. Last year, the Harvest Festival. Well, let me start this way. Every event, I put together my team, the two chiefs, our safety service director, myself, and we'll sit down with anybody that wants to have an event in the city and try to make sure we guide them so that they have a successful event. Our concerns, AD accessibility, for you to take a look at all the different things as far as how you're cooking, electrical wires, all that good stuff. Police chief, make sure the traffic issues are handled, stuff like that. The Harvest Festival last year, we helped tremendously try to help them get involved, be more productive. Sad to say, as the festival ended, there was quite a mess left. Grease in our sewers, on our streets, on our sidewalks, and we made it perfectly known to them that we would be charging them. Matter of fact, the service director took the chairman of that group to the site to explain exactly all the deficiencies and things they left behind, and we let them know they have a bill. They did receive a bill, some numerous letters, different communications, and just recently, Thursday on the 23rd, we had a meeting with the chairman again and another gal to have those conversations. They want to have the event again. Still unable to pay those bills to clean up the mess, so we will no longer entertain the Harvest Festival Committee as it exists to have an event on city property for not taking responsibility for that. As it was mentioned, I went to the Main Street because I feel as though, you know, anytime we can provide more energy to our downtown, it's just that much more beneficial to the city, our businesses. Yeah, and I'm happy to say, as they announced, they are putting together a fall festival to take place of that. And I think it's, in all reality, it's kind of good timing as far as Main Street getting involved with the renewal of our downtown, over $6 million worth of improvements to our downtown area, so it's a great opportunity to start up a new event. I know Mr. Holman had mentioned Arbor Day event. I also want to thank all the councilmen that attended. We had the Boy Scouts there, the Girl Scouts, a lot of great kids having a good time. We were fortunate enough to have some wonderful weather in a park that we have been working very hard. Ms. Sardi and her committee, Parks and Rec, originally started back with Mr. Ackerman, as he was also the chair, and really revitalizing that park. So we're looking forward to having a ribbon cutting ceremony here soon. I won't give you a date because it really depends on the weather. Also mentioned, we talked about our Architectural Review Board and the CDBG grant and how that's involved in it. In order to capitalize on any of those grants, whether it's through CDBG or through Main Street, they must come before the Architectural Review Board. I have really putting together a group of people to be on that board. They've got quite the task. We had to put a lot of things together extremely fast. I'd like to tell you all those things are together. They're not. We are trying to constantly evolve. Our meetings are supposed to be an hour long. They typically run 2 to 3 hours every time because we're trying to do so much. But a very dedicated group of people to making sure that we have a nice downtown, not like Las Vegas with the lights and all that good stuff. So there's a lot of different things we're looking at. So I'm very proud of that group. Just recently we met with a la carte. They're putting in a new canopy or awning, if you will, and we reviewed that. In length, gave her more suggestions. So the Architectural Review Board is not something where we're just going to say yes or no. We're also there to help them if they want us to come out. Like I say, we have some talented people there. We have an architect, we have a designer, construction, business owners, so we have developers. So a great mix of people. Bill Vanderdeesen is a developer and business owner in downtown. As you know, he owns 3 different businesses in the downtown area. Todd Fodor is the architect. Joe Kopchak is a design. Myself, I've been in construction, and Laura Schlachter, according to ordinance, has to be there as well. So it's a 5-member board. Also, wanted to congratulate, I know I was at the Immaculate Conception School, had their 90 years in service to our community with our kids. Just recently had their anniversary, so I just want to say congratulations to them as well. Lastly, I apologize, a little limited tonight. Lakeshore Sidewalks, recently, April 2nd, we had a public meeting involving all those residents and business owners along there. There was a lot of discussion, concern about having a sidewalk on the south side of the road. Obviously, they preferred it to be on the north side. After doing extensive homework and researching that, see if that's a possibility. It involved a lot of different things, such as removing the riprap, dealing with the Army Corps, all these different entities, ODNR, to make all this happen. But worst of all, we have a force main that runs along the north side. It just did not make sense. They will be receiving a letter letting them know that we will continue moving forward with the original plan, which is the sidewalk on the south side of Lakeshore Drive. So I just wanted you all to be aware. And that is all. Thank you.
Treasurer's report.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Law Director's report.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Safety Service Director's report.
Thank you, Madam President. I want to give a special thanks to everybody who helped with the citywide cleanup and the beach cleanup. Special thanks to government class and a bunch of kids over. Kiwanis and Russ Brown came over and helped us put the mulch on the playground, and all the citizens that came to help. I really do appreciate that.
Also, Government Day, while we're at it, is May 12th. So I think Mr. Terrell will probably be here for the council in the morning to take the kids around, but they'll have council here at night by night. So that is at 9 o'clock we start here. Pretty cool, they come in, we have a mock trial over there at the courthouse for them. So it works out pretty well. I want to thank everybody for your patience downtown. I know everybody was in an uproar yesterday, my phone was ringing off the hook, and hopefully we solved some of those issues. Obviously, you can see now that we closed 2nd Street from Jackson to Madison. It's going to be closed for at least through the middle of next week, at least to Monroe Street. And then it will be closed from Monroe all the way to Madison for probably, that part of the project's supposed to be done by June 1st. So we're going to have that, and then of course we'll go to the 2nd block there on Jefferson. So that's what's going on. They started the water line today, basically right in front of the News Herald. That's headed to...
Yeah. Yeah, they did.
You can vouch for me, right? They're headed to the east from there on the water line. The sewer line has made the turn onto 2nd Street and is following right behind. Remember, it goes all the way to Jefferson. Minimal disruption through the intersection at Madison to be just water and sewer that is not getting repaved in that area. So that's the way that project is going to go. So your patience. And we worked with the post office to get people to there. We worked with Coffee Express. We worked with the bank to get them through the drive-through. So I think we've done the best we can to try to minimize the damage with that kind of stuff. So we have been in communication. Also, brush pickup began last Monday, this past Monday the 27th on the west end. We'll be coming to the east side and vice versa, back and forth. That's the program we start with. We put the brush on the street, up on the boulevard, and we come up and we take it. Remember, no bulbs, no rose bushes, things like that, we were not doing. I do want to thank the street crew for their work on patching the streets. They did a nice job, and now we're waiting. The asphalt plants are open back up, so we're going to go back and get the asphalt now. We'll continue doing all that and patching the roads as we have in the past. That will do it, Madam Clerk.
Thank you.
Oh, the beach light?
I actually have something. Yes, it's that time of year again, May 1st, Friday, 7 a.m. The City Beach traffic light will be turned back on, and that'll be on through Labor Day. And as always, we'll give everybody a couple weeks to get used to it. So we're not going to be sitting right by the light, but just make everybody aware. I will get that on our Facebook page as well. That is all I have. Thank you tonight, Madam President.
Chief, and the Jet Express cross light will be just weekend when they're operating?
They start this Friday.
I know.
I think that's going to be operational again. They control that light, but we don't.
Fire Chief's report.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. I only have one piece of correspondence, and that's from the American Legion, and they are again asking for money to decorate the graves for Memorial Day. Mr. Wilker's taking this under advisement, and he will have a resolution ready for next council meeting on May 12th. Could I have a motion to accept the correspondence as stated? Thank you, Mrs. Sardi. Could I have a second? Thank you, Ms. Phillips. All those in favor?
Aye.
Thank you. We will now go to the reading of ordinance and resolutions. We have no third or second readings. We will go to new readings of ordinance and resolutions. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 09-15.
Ordinance 09-15, an ordinance amending ordinance number 03-15 of the City of Port Clinton and adjusting accounts within the City of Port Clinton.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 09-15? Seeing none, we will move that to the May 12th meeting for its second reading. Would the clerk please read by title and summary only, ordinance 10-15.
Ordinance 10-15, an ordinance vacating the east-west valley between blocks 1 and 2 of A. Cucci's addition in the City of Port Clinton.
Does council wish to take any action this evening on ordinance 10-15? Seeing none, that will be moved for its second reading on May 12th. We'll now go to business from the floor. Is there any questions?
Safety service trip.
Okay, I'm ready.
Sorry.
This is from the floor, Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. There will be a Finance Committee meeting, which was supposed to be last Tuesday. It's tomorrow night at 5:30, presuming Mr. Hatfield is able to attend. Keep your emails and text messages out there. There will be a note posted on the door if we have to cancel that again. This Thursday, April 30th, Senator Randy Gardner will be in town at the Ida Rupp Public Library from 11 a.m. until 12:30 to talk about the state budget, which takes become effective July 1st. Now you think, well, the state budget, and what the heck? Well, that impacts a lot of what we do on a daily basis, the schools, so forth. With the city of Port Clinton, Mr. Leone mentioned the sidewalks along Lakeshore Drive. A huge chunk of funding is coming from the proposed 2015-16 budget. A lot of what's going to happen on Madison Street next year is coming out of that budget. So Randy Gardner will be there to take questions, comments, talk about anything under the sun. Again, that's Thursday, the 30th at the Ida Rupp Public Library, 11 to 12:30. It's open to the public. Presume it's going to be in the meeting room off of 3rd Street. And then lastly tonight, there are still plenty of raffle tickets available for the 4th of July celebration. $20 each, 3 tickets for $40. Be happy to sell them. If you aren't comfortable with the raffle that's being offered, you can always make a donation at the Port Clinton Chamber of Commerce. They can be able to the Port Clinton Chamber of Commerce Foundation, put fireworks in the memo. The reality of this thing, folks, is I can't put it any clearer. If this raffle doesn't sell out, we're not going to have fireworks. We'll still be able to do some of the other stuff, the car show, the community choir concert, 2D contest, but we will not have the funds for the fireworks. That's the bottom line. We'll be selling tickets until they sell out, or May 15th when we drop. So if you're interested in tickets, give me a holler. Thank you.
Mr. Bealow.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Thank you. Mrs. Sardi.
I would just like to add on to what Mr. Colson said for the cleanup. I appreciate everybody showing up. It was the nicest day. I've been up for 4 or 5 years, and there was a lot of people that were very, very nice. It's actually sweaty. And a nice ceremony for Arbor Day, Mr. Rowland, Mr. Holman. And the next Parks and Rec is May 12th at 6 p.m.
Mrs. Gilman.
Nothing, Madam President.
Mr. Trolley.
Nothing tonight, Madam President.
Mrs. DeFreeze.
I had one that's by Madam President.
Ms. Phillips. Oh, well.
Laws, rules, and ordinances met today, and we're going to be working on something which will go before Mr. Wilbur, dealing with architectural design committee and board, that whole business. But we haven't formulated anything, so it's going to take a while. Second thing, September 25th, when you have the Main Street Fall Festival, that's the same weekend as the Port Clinton Alumni Association weekend. So you should have a lot of people available, more than just on a regular, because this alumni weekend's only every 5 years, I think, so you've got a good weekend there. And that's all I have.
Thank you. I will now take a motion to adjourn, Mr. Snyder.
Thank you, Madam President. I'm happy to make a motion at this August body adjournment.
Have a second, Mr. Thank you. All those in favor?
Aye.
We are adjourned.